a wonderful sound, such a beautiful way to hit the ground. I hear you call through the echoes on my mind.
Today's story ends.
My name's Frankie. I'm Nicole.
They said Frankie Moore was troubled.
Don't you think that's what I'm doing now?
The truth, as always, is far more complicated.
Get down, Frankie!
Sometimes grown-ups fight, Frankie.
Thank you very much for joining me today. My name's Annabel, Spinks-Jones. I'm here with the fan carpet. What does Raindance mean to you?
Oh, it's a fantastic celebration of independent film. It gives people the opportunity to get their work seen. People who often are either first-time filmmakers or people who are trying to forge their way in the business. It gives an opportunity for creativity to flourish, so it's really important.
Would you like to, for the benefit of our audience, introduce your current project?
Yes, Homeless Ashes with Marc Zammit. Marc Zammit is the most incredibly inspirational actor, now director, filmmaker. He's put together this project around homelessness with the tagline that homeless, not invisible. And he's produced this really heartfelt film showing different insights into different people's lives who are on the street. And at the same time, there's a real kindness and a real generosity in the spirit that he shows with that. It's very, very moving. I saw it with a dear friend who's with me now, and another friend, and actually feeling their responses, watching it was incredibly moving for me, because they almost right from the beginning were so connected to the film and so moved by it. It was actually seeing it through their eyes as well as my own, and we were sort of we cried for most of it actually. It was a beautiful, really beautiful experience.
And so that leads into my next question about cinema versus watching at home. What do you think the differences are?
Of course, it's very difficult to get people into cinemas, isn't it? But there's something about that community, there's something about the shared experience of going to see something in a film, in a cinema, that is very, very different. I think films are really made to watch with each other, and we have so little opportunity to be together in communities actually, that I wish we all went out together more often and watched these films, because also it leads to debate. You know, some people will enjoy a film and somebody else might not. Why is that? We can have a great discussion about it. I think it's a shame that we don't go to the cinema more often.
When you attend an event like Raindance, apart from your own film, how do you choose what to watch?
It's difficult, isn't it? Obviously, sometimes you read. I like to sometimes just choose one that I have no idea about. And your next question might be, what have you seen? And then I can't answer that one. So don't ask me that one. But no, because I haven't been, because I've been working the whole time. So unfortunately, I've been in Lisbon, and actually I flew back from Istanbul. I got home at I think 12:30 last night. So that's the reason why. I think surprise yourself, do a little bit of research, but be open to just walking into a cinema and seeing something that you have no idea about and be surprised. I know in the past with films I've done that, and some of those films have been the most moving films I've ever seen.
And what was it like working on Homeless Ashes?
I think I've said this before in other interviews, but I loved working on Homeless Ashes. When we rehearsed to start with Marc and Dean Maskell, who plays my husband, and Hector Bateman, the atmosphere that Marc created was so kind. I keep on coming back to this word, but also open. So we discussed everything openly. If Marc wanted to move or change things, he'd talk to us about it, and we'd all have a really good open discussion. And so there was never a sense of you must do this, you must do that. It was a really collaborative process, and the whole team, I have to say, of Homeless Ashes was a joy to work with. And so much so that I think the there was about a space of 6 months where I hadn't seen the guys, and I walked into the house that we were shooting, and I am emotional, but I cried when I walked in the door and I saw everybody genuinely, because I was genuinely happy to see them.
So, as an actress, there's obviously an itinerant nature to your work.
Yes.
What impact does that have on your mental health? I know there's been some interesting panels on that at Raindance.
Well, that's an interesting question, because I've had about 4 hours sleep. As I said, I was in Istanbul yesterday. I was running a workshop in Oxford today. I'm now here. You have to be alert all the time, and quite often you're exhausted. So I think it can have an impact, but also absorbing and inhabiting characters can have a real impact on how you are. And in fact, I was talking to my friend earlier on. She said, you know, a lot of the stuff you do is quite intense. And it's hard, the way I work as an actor, I know a lot of actors, not to absorb that and to take that on board. So you have to spend time almost unpicking and unraveling what you're doing, and make sure you take time for yourself. I've started transcendental meditation, which I found very helpful to clear the slate.
That's amazing. Gosh, I've just gone into a transcendental state.
Marvellous. Our job is done. Our job is done.
What is the job of an actress?
The job of an actress is to deeply understand the nature of the story, your character's part in the story, and then to absorb it and give the most truthful representation of it as possible. So acting for me is not about pretending or lying, which is what often people think about. It's about deep understanding, understanding the intricacies of what it's like to be human, and then allowing everything that you have, your emotions, your mind, your body, allow that to be your mode of expression. It's like a sculptor sort of sculpting a piece of clay.
You're so deep. I want you to make a film as a director. Can you talk about the projects that you mentioned earlier, or any other future projects? Are you allowed to announce?
Well, Adventure Boys is something that I worked on last year that's actually being shown at the moment locally where it's filmed. It's a really beautiful children's adventure film. It's a Home Alone type film and The Goonies, and it's actually written, directed and acted in by Howard Ford, who also wrote and directed Never Let Go, where I played the lead in. And he noticed that his children were stopping saying, "What are we going to do today, Daddy?" and asked to be on their iPads, And he has quite an active lifestyle with the kids, and he was quite shocked that was beginning to happen. So he wrote a film about this, put his boys in it and himself, and last summer, when it was a beautiful summer, they roamed about the countryside in Sussex filming this most incredible film. And when you watch it and you realise that it's a real dad writing this for his boys, it's so moving. Now I don't know what it's like to be a child anymore, so it's quite a while ago. So I knew as an adult that adults would enjoy it, and I think that's the difficulty with children's films, isn't it? It has to appeal to the adults as well as the children. But the kids are absolutely loving it. One kid recently came out of the cinema and said that was better than Toy Story. Yes. And kids are going back watching it 2-3 times, so that's something to look out for. Adventure Boys by Howard Ford, that's the main one at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm so excited about film now after
Do you know, it's the most amazing thing, because film has such a wide reach. I know we talked about, and I've said, I'd much rather people were in the cinemas, but it goes into your home, it goes into your head and your heart, and it really has the ability to either lift you, to educate you, to unite you, to divide you, to make you sit up and think. So it's the most amazing medium, it really is. I love it.
Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. I also wanted to say what a mark of a fantastic career that you missed the premiere because you were working.
I know. I did. I actually hoped that I would get back for it, but I landed at 10:25 and the film went up at 9:15. And I did say to Marc I would do my very best to get there, but unfortunately I was working yesterday with severe food poisoning.
Oh my God.
So and that's another thing with acting is that you have to show up.
I would give anything to have the chance to go home again.
I'm here on the largest of the Balearic Islands, Mallorca, with the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful mountainous landscape, the thriving city of Palma, quaint little market towns, a growing number of luxury hotels. It's no surprise that the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor like to holiday here. So come and join me as I take you round Mallorca.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.